those days, those L's, I couldn't sleep right now. I get paid, vacay, I'm staying B-side. Breaking the blues over steak, I gotta eat right. You could be my peace sign. I don't need bad energy around me. I just need sun, you're so cloudy. I wake up good, you're so grouchy. Please get from around me. When the truth don't work, you start telling lies. Thought you were down to ride, you weren't down to ride. Caught switching, you were picking sides. Don't blink, caught slipping like a slip and slide. I was shooting dice till I got a nosebleed. Money on the floor, can't get cold feet. Took an L, should've put it in the offering. Lord, forgive me for my sins, don't know of me. Scary thoughts, I got scary thoughts. Lost control, now I'm taking charge. Breaking bills, friends breaking off. You could be the youngest, I'm the dawn. Kiss the ring, nah. In the scene like GOT. Stay awake, don't sleep. Shout out to my beautiful wife for always reminding me, you're on mute. I do that because I don't, I'm fiddling around sometimes when I first start the stream, so I don't want all of that in your ear. You know what I mean? What's up, Jess? Hey, baby girl. That was fun last night, right? We hung, man. We hung. Do you know I was so supercharged after that? I could have played for another 2 hours, but I didn't think my neighbors would have appreciated that. So I'm like, let me get the F out of here, dude. But yeah, that stream was almost a 3-hour stream. That lets you know if anybody ever me to play as their drummer, I could hang. I loved it. It was amazing. Thank you. I went to the replay section of the studio and listened to some of it. The drums were pretty low. I hear them a little bit better because they were sort of way. So I try to think about how to rig up a mic to do that. Okay, I just got a yellow notification on here. Did my stream stop? No, it looks like I'm still going. That's weird. Restream glitches sometimes. But I'm putting in here, let's see, the Linktree link. That way, if you guys haven't started following me on Twitter or Instagram or anything like that, you have access to all of my links there. Linktree is pretty freaking cool. Come on, work with me. They've got such a weird. Yeah, let's go back. They've got such a weird link. Okay. They've got such a weird link that it takes me a couple of times to type it, because every time you type it, it types it in wrong. Ah, dude. I'm like,
Okay, I'm about to say the hell with it. It's like Linktree. If you want people to share this shit, make it a little easier. It's almost like a spell check. Okay, there we go. All right, we got it. Yeah, that was fun last night. We had so many. Listen, too, if you guys like that, I'll do those more often. And then just, you can comment to this video if you want. And and you guys, Jex, you have my text directly. Text me some stuff, and I'll put together a little set list, and I'll do some concerts for you guys where we just jam out. I can be background. JCrew.links. I named it after the JCrew, baby. That's right. Okay, there we go. And I'm also, while I'm putting that in there, I'm also going to put the link to the stream in there as well. I'll do that directly from here. Because I don't really have a topic. So I just wanted to come say hey to the JCrew because I am definitely committed to coming on here every Monday through Friday at 12:30. And I don't always want it to be something that is depressing or something like that. We can just chill. We can talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. Jess, come on up and talk about this TV show, this Anthony Casey stuff that you've been talking to me about. What is that? It's a documentary. I don't watch a whole lot of documentaries, but when I do, I do kind of get into them. So yeah, if it's something that you think I would like, I'll definitely check it out. But yeah, it's starting to intrigue me a little bit. I don't know what it is with the third season of 60 Days In, but I can't seem to buy in. I know it's like you're like, okay, hurry up, bitch. But like I'm trying to get through it. I keep getting to about the fifth or sixth episode, and then I kind of lose interest in it. I don't know. I don't know. What I have been doing though is I've been fasting. Shout out to my beautiful vegan knowledge. Tonight is, yes, you guessed it, Meatless Monday, where we're gonna come on her stream tonight and talk about some ways to have a nice vegan Christmas. We had a vegan Thanksgiving. That was awesome. If you've ever thought about giving up meat, I know Ro comes on there and I'm so proud of her. I'm also jealous. I'm like, she got into it and she managed to stick with it. What's my problem? So I'm like, I've stuck with veganism. Don't get me wrong, but there's a certain, I always hold myself to this standard that's like way up here, fly like an eagle, right? Shout out to Karen Everett. She inspired me, by the way, to end up doing that live. When she sent me Fly Like an Eagle. And she put that out, I guess, to a few people that, that was one of her favorite childhood songs. And it was mine too. I had the 45 record of it. And I also like Seal's version. So all of a sudden I started listening to Seal's version. I'm like, damn, I love that beat. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go on TikTok and just play the drums. I went on there and saw some lady just kind of banging it out on the electric drums, and you could tell she was probably a beginner. And I thought, wow, she sounds really good. And I thought, if she has the guts to do it, I've probably got a little bit more experience. Why not? Hey, you.
Hi.
What's up?
Getting ready to finish up my workday. I get an early day today.
Oh, lucky you. I know you got to love that so you can stop and chill.
No, gotta go pick up my nephew from school, and then Cadence has her last brain scan today.
So what's happening with that?
So they ruled out some nerve damage. They ruled out tumors and masses. This last scan is to rule out an aneurysm and a dissection.
So what's going on with her again? Refresh me.
She had gotten into a horsing accident a year ago, and got a concussion and stuff from it. But as time went on, she developed some neurological signs. She's got a head bob. If she looks a certain direction, her head involuntarily
Starts
twitches.
bobbing. Yeah.
Yeah. And then she's got some grip issues. Her hands shake really bad. So like while she's doing schoolwork now, she wears wrist weights, 1 pound weights on each of her wrists while she's doing schoolwork to
So
try to
minimize the shaking.
to try to build up some strength. But depending on what this test says, they'll determine if she needs anticonvulsants and all that stuff.
So the bright side of it is it isn't any of that other stuff.
Yeah, they just got to rule out an aneurysm and then a dissection. Those are the last two things that they have to rule out. So hopefully we're
keep
good
her in
to
our
go.
prayers. Yeah, we'll definitely keep her in our prayers.
I know my mom's side of the family, back 5 generations, 1 out of 2 females have aneurysms, brain aneurysms. It goes
Really?
back that far.
Wow.
And then what did my grandma had 2 girls. So my nana had them, her mom had them, my mom had them, and my mom had 2 girls, and then I turned around and had 2 girls.
So one of them, if you didn't have it, was bound to.
Well, it hasn't skipped any generations. It's been 1 out of 2 daughters for the last 5 or 6 generations back.
Wow.
So it's a matter of us hopefully beating the odds. So it'd be me or my sister and then one of my girls.
Mm-hmm.
So we're ruling out and keeping check. I get scans every year now.
Cool. And your sister too?
She hasn't started hers yet. She just turned 30, and that's when they started appearing. So she's going to have to start her scans now.
Gotcha. Well, we will keep all of you guys, and and that's funny that you mentioned that, because the colon cancer thing with me, my mom didn't have it and my grandmom didn't have it, but my grandmom's sister died from it. So, and I didn't hear of anybody else having it in the family before everybody else, because my mom or my grandma for me to even refer to and ask them about it. But, and they didn't say anything to me about it, but the fact that Aunt Ethel died from it, and then I ended up having it, and my sister doesn't have it, and so far my daughter hasn't turned up with anything. But again, I haven't communicated with her. So, and then she's got a girl, so I don't know, how that worked out, but it landed on me.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's my great aunt. So think about that. You know what I mean? But obviously there's something there that runs in the family. That's another reason I'm pissed at my daughter, that she won't communicate with me. Okay, it's like enough is enough. There's some things that, we need to talk about, that you need to be mindful of. You know what I mean? But, it is what it is. That's crazy.
Right.
That's crazy.
I pick on them all the time because, I know it ain't their fault, but I'm like, come on, Mom. It's like, really? You gave me the short stockiness of the Italian in you. I got that coarse, weird Indian from Grandma. I said, and what'd y'all give me? Short stockiness, partially blind. I said, you give me the bipolar disorder. You give me them chance of them aneurysms. I said, did you want to give me anything decent? Come on. Let's go, Mom. Come on.
Can I get something good?
No, you just took the worst traits of everything and said, here you go in one package.
Sprinkle a little bit of everything in there. You're everything bagel. Oh man. And it's so funny too, because this thing I've got going on with the blindness here, that doesn't run in my family. So I don't know I still am convinced that that's stress in some type of way. and most likely it's related to what I was eating when we first moved down to where we are. So, and but I'm doing good. The past 2 days, look, I'm trying to get myself on this strict ass regimen of the 1 meal a day raw vegan diet. And there's a lot of people that do it and have a lot of success with it. So
Right.
I'm not eating anything all day, and I've given myself a feeding window of 7 to 9. 7 and 9 are very, very powerful, lucky numbers for me.
Right.
I don't know why, but they just are. So I'm going to eat between 7 and 9, right? That way I got 3 hours to digest my food, get my ass in the bed by 12. Cause I will stay up watching, binging TV shows all night if I don't do that. And then get up at 7 and start the whole thing all over again. So, and then during that feeding window, I'm eating this huge salad, right? And then some grapes and some fruit afterwards. And I'm just going to try doing that for the entire rest of the month of December and see what happens. I have not managed to stick to it for a full month and see if that does anything to help my vision issues out.
It could. I mean, I
It's
believe
pretty
in.
strict. It's pretty strict, you know what I mean? So we'll see. But at the worst case scenario, anything else that's wrong will probably be fixed, right? If that's not, yeah. So tell me
This
about
might
this
come to
Anthony
everything.
Casey thing.
Oh, Casey Anthony, you don't
Casey Anthony, okay.
remember? She was the young mom that her 3-year-old went missing about 15 years ago.
I live under a
And
rock. No, I
she
don't
was
even.
gone for like 31 days before she reported her missing. The child
What?
had been missing for 31 damn days, and she didn't say nothing. She went out and got tattoos. She went out and was partying.
Wow.
She told
So
them
everybody
that,
thinks she killed her.
yeah, she told the cops that she worked at this location, and the cops took her there, and they're like, she doesn't work here. Like, but Casey openly admitted to lying about everything. She purposely misled them. She purposely said she worked somewhere she didn't. So it was one of those things where, I mean, bro, you don't just,
Right.
your child's gone for 31 days. But her mom had called because they had called, her car had gotten towed, and her mom went to pick up the car or whatever, and there was a really bad smell coming from the car.
Oh.
So it's got like her mom's 911 call and screaming, but so it was one of those things where everyone's like, she did this. There's no way she didn't do this.
Right.
However, she got found not guilty and she was released. But never since that happened has the mom, Casey, done a single interview. But her parents do interviews all the time. So
How the
this
hell
thing
did
that
they find her not guilty? The kid was in her trunk, right?
well, they ended up finding her body in like a garbage bag in a park.
Holy
So they're
shit.
like, they said the body had been in there or whatever. But so she did this 3-part thing, and me and Jen were losing our minds because we both went in with there ain't no way she didn't do this.
Right.
But so she came out, and now it's my mom's theory is, well, she's had 14 years to come up with a good story and make it believable. But she was pretty believable in this thing. It makes you go, wait a minute, maybe she's not lying, because now it's a whole, her dad molested her, and he's the one that had found her. And a bunch of the timeline stuff, but she's saying that she fell asleep, and when she woke up, her daughter wasn't in the bed with her. And then her dad came around the corner and was holding her daughter, who was soaked like she had been in the pool. And she said that her dad said, "Don't worry, I'll take care of this." and she was just letting her dad take care of it. That's why she didn't say anything for the whole month and a half. And it's kind of like one of those things where, like, oh, so 15 years later, you're pulling the, oh, I was molested card out. Like, did it happen? Did it not happen? Because then she said that her brother did the same thing. So now she's trying to say that her dad, that when she was little, her dad would smother her with a pillow if she fought back. So Casey's saying that maybe her dad smothered her daughter the same way when her daughter fought back and he accidentally killed her.
Oh, wow.
So now there's this whole debate on, did he really have something to do with it? Or because he admitted years ago that he helped her cover it up. He maintained that it was her that did it, but he helped her cover it up. And I mean, he was the first person that spoke against her to get her indicted.
To divert the attention from him.
Yeah, and the thing is, he's a former cop. There's a lot of stuff. And then they showed stuff. They showed unreleased footage from the funeral of the little girl. And just some of the stuff that the dad said gave you really creeper vibes. Like, he was like, there's nothing sweeter and more soul calming and brings me more pleasure than the smell of a child. It was just very weird things. The way he worded shit, you're kind of like, yeah. Yeah. Okay, she crazy as hell, but I think the whole family was
like,
just
you sick
a little
bastard. It was you.
Little but the kicker is her mom at one point was dating John Bonet's dad.
No. Come
so
on.
You want weird
Her
two families where we know
was dating John Bonet's dad. Her mom.
Yeah. After Patsy had died, yeah.
So wait a minute. So now begs the question, somehow did the mom do it and she learned how to do it from John Bonet's dad because he did it to her?
Well, like, no, this was like a,
you know me, I'm a conspiracy theorist.
It was a whole weird thing, but just, I don't know. Like, there's no way she should have been released. She was involved. I don't care if my dad says, I'll take care of this. Yeah. It was 31 days, heifer. Not one police call was made. Nothing.
But when he brought the daughter up soaking, wet, the daughter was still alive at that point?
That's the thing. Casey and the documentary says that she was just soaking wet, limp, not moving. And my dad looked at me and said, "This is all your fault." And when I was in shock, he was like, "But don't worry, I'll take care of it. Everything's going to be fine." So she's trying to say that she believed her dad, that everything was okay, and that Kaylee was somewhere safe. You knew that baby wasn't anywhere safe.
Right.
You knew your child was dead, and you didn't make a call.
Right. Like, did she drown or something? And he called himself getting rid of the body?
Well, that's what they're saying. They're saying that, like, because that was a theory presented at one point, that maybe she had drowned in the pool. But the cops and everybody in Casey said that the pool ladder had been removed and a gate had been put around the pool to make sure that didn't happen. But the mom's stating now that she believes he tried to assault her daughter
and put her in the pool to get rid of his fingerprints.
Yeah, to get rid of any evidence. See, one of the things that they had tried to say originally was there was all this chloroform found, and there was duct tape on the little girl's mouth and all this stuff. But the autopsy and the drug report showed there wasn't anything in her system, period. Like, there was no chloroform, no drugs or anything. So I don't know. It's like I started and was screaming and cussing at the TV. because I was like, here we go. It's
Sounds like me.
15 years later. They can't charge you again. She's
Mhm.
gonna actually tell the truth. She's gonna finally admit some shit. Nope. And so I was like, nope, here she goes. Here it is. No, it wasn't
Wow.
me.
And where's this
But
on
so
Netflix?
I think this one was on Peacock.
Okay.
It was I don't know, like it changed my mind a little bit from thinking it was solely her to there ain't no
Mhm.
way she did this by herself. Her dad was in
Yeah.
on this. Some way or somehow her
If he
dad
didn't
played a
do it
big role
himself.
in this.
Right.
Yeah.
If he
And
didn't
then
do it.
nobody ever, the mom did 3 years because she had to stay in jail for the period of the trial. But
Mhm.
besides that, yeah, nobody's done time for this. Nothing.
That's a damn shame.
But it's like, to me, she was a lot like the John Benet Ramsey case, and that happened years before.
Yeah.
Like, my thing was because in this situation, I think Casey's dad was involved in
Mhm.
his granddaughter's death. And I think Patsy Ramsey was involved in John Benet's death. So I think that's why John Benet's dad and
Mhm.
Casey's mom hooked up, because they were both married to people they believe killed their children or had something to do with the death of a child. Like it's
Mhm.
a trauma bonding. Like,
Right.
I know my wife killed my daughter, but I'm not
Mhm.
saying anything.
Right. I had a theory that the brother did John Benet
Yes.
because
I
he was.
that's what I'm saying. I think Patsy like covered up for her son.
Yeah. I feel like
It
he did it by accident.
Yeah, probably doing something, and then Patsy did what a lot of those parents do and say, I'd rather help one than lose both.
Yeah.
And that could, like, even if Casey's dad, if Casey did kill her daughter, then her dad was like, well, let me clean it up for her, because if not, I'm going to lose my daughter and my granddaughter. So
Right.
there's possibilities. But I'm with you. I think her brother did something,
Was wrestling
and
around with her because they says always wrestling around with her, and sometimes he could be rough.
she
And I
had that crack on the back of her skull.
right. Yep. I feel like he did it by accident,
And
playing too rough with her, and she fell and cracked her head or something like that.
then mom covered it up,
Mom
because
covered it up.
in all of those videos where it's opposite for John Bonet, mom was calmer than dad.
Yeah.
Mom seemed a little off. And with Casey, dad was extremely calm and the mom was hysterical.
Mhm.
Like, they give glimpses into possibilities with their behaviors.
Yeah. And we will
And I
know
just,
because you watch people that have issues, and you can tell. You can just tell by looking at them, that something is
well,
going
like,
on there.
yeah, with like John Bonet's case, though, the cops were even like, when we came to investigate, she was up making phone calls and arranging this and arranging that and giving out cookies, and I don't know, it was just very strange how she was acting. Like, we just found your dead baby. Why are you acting a hot mess express
Like
right now?
nothing's going on. Hey, honey.
Like,
Oh, I
it
think
looks like she
somebody.
dropped out again. She did, but it looks like she dropped out again.
A hot mess express. I like that.
I mean,
I
they just
watched the John
sloppy.
Bonet documentary. I watched a couple of documentaries on that one. That one intrigued me. That was a beautiful little girl.
Right? But yeah, the Casey Anthony one just reminds me a lot of
Mm-hmm.
Let me turn this in. I'm sorry. I didn't know you put me in. Hi.
Hey, honey, how are you?
Good, good, good. It's Monday. I
Yes,
know all
yes.
this somber talk of these weird issues with
This is the somber
John
stream.
Bonet
We talk about death over here.
No,
Death and
because
weirdness.
me and Jen are like, we need to do like a true crime or creepy Thursday or thriller Friday, something. And this thing is like a hot topic right now. As soon as that documentary released, TikTok, Facebook, everything went viral with that. So it's
And
like
what's
a
it
hot
called?
button topic right now.
Well,
It's on Peacock. It's the Casey Anthony interview
Oh,
because
okay.
she's never done one.
You were talking about John Bonet. I don't know why all of a sudden it came to me that Kate Goslin. I saw that her son had some kind of YouTube video this morning. I don't. I got the two couples mixed up, and at first I was like, "What is going on? Why am I seeing something about that couple?" And then I was like, "Oh wait, John Bonet Ramsey. That's a totally different family that was in the news." I was starting to read into it, like, what's going on?
did she come
They
back?
lied about
No.
that son who's been like in and out of psychiatric hospitals and things since the whole Kate and 8+8 and all that stuff happened.
Yeah. That's Colin, I believe, is that one. He's got
Yeah.
some defiance issues going on.
I
So
think I'll
that sounds
check
like
that
a
out
pretty
now.
interesting show.
And I'm gonna
Definitely.
look it
Like a
up.
mystery.
Like,
I'm gonna look
yeah,
it
because
up.
me and Jen were watching it. Me and Jen were like, "Are you kidding me? I'm ready to see how some opinions change." Because I was literally like, "No, there's no way. She crazy, this little shithead." But I think I was more irritated because for a long time, and the way they did portray her, because she went out and got tattoos, and she got Belvita tattooed on her shoulder blade while her daughter was missing, and Belvita means the beautiful life. Like, so it was just weird stuff that she was doing.
Really?
Mhm.
I didn't know that because we used to eat these cookies called that, wasn't it?
Velveeta.
Yeah,
I think Velveeta was it?
Remember those little like square? They were like healthy
Velvy.
cookies.
Look,
yeah,
didn't I
those are
say
Belvitas.
Velveeta?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Ariella. Welcome, welcome.
Ariella. Welcome
She
everybody
said
in the
she's
stream.
having a rough Monday. I hope everyone is doing amazing. Well, you are in the right place if you're having a rough Monday because we're here to cheer you up.
That's right. If
Okay, let's
that's even
divert the
possible.
conversation. Divert the
Yeah,
conversation from the
this
sad,
show
sad
might
shit.
not get you cheered up what they were talking about. I had to come on
Yeah.
here and see what was up.
No, just talking some true crime,
Talking
hot
some
button
true crime.
issues that are going viral.
Well,
Somebody else used to love true crime that was here. I can't remember who it was.
Jen, it's me and
Was
Jen.
it? Well, there was
Jen
somebody else
loves.
too. Like, was it Lee or Holly? Somebody. There was somebody
Lee
that was
does
always
too.
watching
Yeah, Lee
true crime.
does.
Okay, I knew that.
I
So
can't
Jen
help it. I watch
too. I
stuff
didn't
like
even know
that.
that.
I watch
Yeah.
I was remember watching the Ponzi scheme stories, a couple of those. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I end up getting into stuff like
Oh
that too. So
yeah,
yeah, when
I
you get
know
off of
those
here, I'm gonna
too.
look it up.
When we
Yeah,
used to
certain.
watch, it was like something to do with money, like people scamming money or something. Remember that show?
Yeah, it was Ponzi schemes. I can't remember what the name of the show was, but
That's basically the idea was of it, and there was always mysteries. Like I used to love like even movies that like made you really think like that.
Oh
like
When
yeah.
I got older and
Primal
decided I
Fear.
don't feel like thinking.
Primal
Yeah,
Fear
that was
was
a
a
good
good
one.
one.
Oh, have
Hmm.
y'all seen is it? Is it Fracture? It's got
What is it?
Anthony Hopkins in it,
What's it
and
called?
I want to say it's called Fracture. It's got Anthony Hopkins and Ryan Gosling in it, and
I was
Anthony
just thinking about
Hopkins
Ryan.
murders his wife at the beginning.
Hmm.
But it's like it's like the whole trial and the way that you have to, the mind frame of that movie and trying to figure out how he pulled all this off. And it was a really good movie if you like stuff like that, the figuring out and the mystery. And
I
because
have
he
to be in a
surrenders to
zone.
the cop butt naked. like like
What?
he called the cops on himself standing there butt ass naked, and he's like, now prove it.
Mm.
And so Ryan Gosling, it's like his first big trial, and Ryan Gosling has to figure out a way to convict him. And it was really
Wow.
well done.
Now, see, I'm normally a rom-com person, but I have been known to get into a mystery or two. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that definitely sounds like
Stuff,
something we could watch.
yeah,
The
stuff that makes
rom-coms
the
have
brain.
gotten so predictable lately, like they all are,
Yeah.
but sometimes you just want something that's like easy on the mind for a second. That's why I love reality TV because it's just so like
Focus
crazy
on
and
other people's
far-fetched.
drama.
Oh
Ariella
yeah.
said, I need it. I've been busy cheering everyone else up. Yeah, sometimes you can get, sometimes it'll help you, and then sometimes you're like, okay, hold on. You might need someone to cheer you up, Ariella.
Mm-hmm.
Taking care of everybody else.
Yep.
Wow, that is amazing. Well,
What's your
I didn't.
favorite rom com?
Mm, rom com.
I would have
Let's
to say
see.
mine is Serendipity.
I love that one too.
That's a good one.
Runaway Bride was good. That's because we lived in the area where it was filmed. Wedding
Did
Singer.
have y'all seen the old one? And a lot of people haven't. It's Addicted to Love. It
That
has
sounds.
You know what?
it, it has Meg Ryan and I think Matthew Broderick. They're both like both of their partners left them or whatever, so they rent like an old apartment space directly across from their ex's apartment because their exes are now hooking up. So they're like spying on their
Dude,
exes,
I
trying to
feel
figure
like
out
I
ways.
saw that, but I don't. I that plot sounds familiar, but I don't remember the movie.
Yeah, like they were trying to split them up and find ways to make their exes miserable because now they're happy together. And then
Right.
they kind of fall in love in the process. Meg Ryan's a hot mess express, and Matthew Broderick is like a little serious. I'm going to get her back logically, and then Meg Ryan kind of gets him to be irrational and feed off of his emotions. So it's a really underrated rom-com that's pretty decent.
I just saw something else that turned out to be pretty decent. It had Matthew Lawrence in it, and I can't even remember the girl's name because she's kind of, to me, she seems like she's unknown. But it's called My Fake Fiance, and that was pretty cute.
Mannequin
Um,
was cool.
Oh,
Mannequin was good.
Matthew Lawrence was just on he just did The Masked Singer.
Was he? He was
That
on
And
there.
I
show,
guess
I could just something
Everybody
about it. Like I
watches that.
couldn't
I'm
get
like, I
down with
can't
it.
get into
It
it
was
like a big
I
bear
weird.
mess.
I picked
I need
that
to try
man's
it
voice
again.
out so
I gotta
quick.
try it. Cause
Did
it's
you?
been a while since I've watched it. I think because at that time we were watching like The Voice and things like that. But now I'm so like the whole world's gone crazy since that show started. So now I'm like I might like it now. It's like you
And
can
each
change your
season they
taste
keep
over time.
getting each season they keep getting bigger and bigger artists. And
That's
I know
pretty
Patti
cool.
LaBelle was on there one season, and
No
Really?
way.
there's they've had some bigger artists on there as of recent, but I
People
know
who actually
last year,
sing.
like Hanson was on there. Um, they brought for TV week the Brady Bunch boys. They were actually mass contestants.
Wow.
So all the brothers from the Brady Bunch were on there. But yeah, Matthew Lawrence was on there, and they were like some clues about him. He has an amazing catchphrase. He loves plaid, leather jackets, and all the judges were like, "Oh, oh, oh, it's Uncle Jesse from Full House." And I was like, "Hell no, it's Matthew Lawrence." Whoa. And then he starts talking, and I'm like, "Oh, yeah, that's Matthew Lawrence. You couldn't miss that."
Wow, yeah, he was in the Fake Fiance where it's this chick that it's so crazy because they meet at a wedding, and it's like the bride actually sat them next to each other thinking that they would make a good couple, and the girl that he ends up meeting comes off really, really assholish to him. She like kind of looked, yeah, let me guess, you're one of these guys and who thinks you're hot shit and all that. You know what I mean? So they don't like each other initially.
Right.
But she gets the bright idea because she gets to move into some apartment building that she's buying, or not, she's not buying the building, but she's buying a unit. So she wants to own. So she's leaving her apartment, and in her leaving her apartment, her truck with all her furniture gets stolen. So she ends up going to an empty new apartment and trying to figure out how to get her shit back, or at least get some new furniture.
Mhm.
So she starts looking through this wedding thing and finds out that, hey, people register. Why don't I just act like I'm getting married and get people to register and get me all this stuff? So she needs a groom though. And she ends up calling him, and he scopes out because he's got this gambling addiction. He, at the wedding, he goes and calls this bookie, and she overhears it. So she remembers that he used her phone because his was dead, and he asked her, could he use her phone? She's like, So she gives it to him. So she calls the bookie and finds out where he lives, and goes
Oh,
and talks
geez.
to him and starts describing her dilemma. And he, before she even finishes, he's like, I'm in. You want to do a fake wedding? I get it. I'm in. And she's like, all right. So needless to say, they do the fake thing. He's living with her. They end up falling in love and really do. It reminds me a lot of The Proposal. That's another good one.
Oh my God, that one's so good.
I love The Proposal. And it reminds me a lot of that because at the end of the movie, she gets to a point where she wants to confess to everybody, but they realize they love each other, and she wants to leave the wedding, and he convinces her, no, we're getting married.
It reminds me of
Everybody.
The Wedding Date, right?
Yeah.
That's
Even
another
I
one.
think more even so The Proposal than that, because remember when Sandra Bullock wanted to leave at the end because she had really fallen for him and felt like shit for putting him through this. And
Yeah.
that's what happens with this girl. She's like, you know what? My family loves you. I think I love you. I don't want to do this to everybody. And he's like, no, we're gonna go through it. You want to go in there and tell everybody that they are here for no reason. So at the end, they ultimately end up saying I do and doing real vows in front of you know what I mean? In front of the family. It was
Mhm.
good. It was good.
We
That's
love
a
seeing
good
those
one.
happy love stories, and they love stories about that, like they're pretending to like each
Yeah.
other, and then they end up having to really like each other. I was
You could tell
laughing
it's low
too.
budget, but it turned out to be pretty good. Anytime YouTube's got a movie on for free, it's low budget.
I love low budget
Or
movies sometimes.
sometimes
Some of
them
them
B-rated movies make the best ones.
make
Yeah.
the best ones, right?
I love
Mhm.
like, have you ever watched like older movies now and think like we were watching Serendipity and thought there's no way that this could even be a storyline. Same with Truth About Cats and Dogs, like we were saying, because it's like with social media and being able to just pop somebody up on Facebook and see their face, like how it was like they couldn't find each other. He like wrote his number in a book, and she was looking for that book to find him. It's
Right.
like it's so easy to
It
connect
wouldn't
with people
exist in
now unless he was like
today's
totally
world.
or she was off the grid like person, like had no Facebook, no TikTok, no LinkedIn, nothing.
Right.
Like that'd be the only way that they could have separated for 7 years or whatever it was without being able to locate each other. So it's like interesting, and then like it's just wild to think about some of the movies. They could remake them, but they'd have to change the plot.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Definitely.
It'd be so
Because
difficult to do a remake of either of those two movies.
Right.
I'm
There's
sure
some
we
movies that they really just need to stop trying to redo.
that
It's
they
like,
keep
can't
Oh
they?
my
We
doing
said
over
that.
and
Can't
over.
they come out with anything like new and innovative? We need to write movies for them because they continue to do remake after remake after remake.
Or
Yeah.
like 10,000 Spider-Mans out, 10,000 different versions of Spider-Man. Why couldn't you have
Oh my
just done it
god.
with Tobey Maguire? That was
I
it,
am
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Like, yeah, why keep
Yeah, more
changing
like,
them? Like, freaking Spider-Man ain't aging that quick, dude. You could have kept using the same fucking one. You didn't need to, even though I like
right,
Tom Holland, but still, we don't need this many.
right. It's like the Batmans. They've become like the
Right?
new James Bond. Who's playing Batman now? Or who's playing James Bond now? You know what I mean? But
Right. And then you got to compare who made the best Batman, who did the best Catwoman, who did the best Joker, and I'm like, ugh, just pick one.
That's a good stream to have.
Picking. Just
I
pick one.
liked, you know who I liked for the best Joker was our guy from
Jack Nicholson?
yeah, I think he was my favorite, and the favorite Batman was Michael Keaton.
Yeah,
Same
Michael
with Jack
Keaton, I
Nicholson.
love Batman.
Yeah, definitely.
What's his name? Tobey Maguire. Is that the Spider-Man I watched with you?
Yeah,
That's the
yeah.
one I
I
liked too.
thought Tobey Maguire made a good Spider-Man. Christopher Reeve, there's nobody who's going to top him being Superman. That was terrible what
Mm-mm.
happened to him. That
Well, that
reminded me of what happened with is that what happened? Your Cadence got thrown from a horse?
Yeah, she was doing her lessons and she was trotting, and the horse just suddenly stopped and lurched and then reared up and tossed her into a steel fence. I mean,
Damn.
she had the outline from that steel fence detailed into her arm is how hard she hit. I mean, she was a giant walking bruise. We were lucky that the only thing she had was um, a broken hand and she had a concussion. She had some amnesia for a little while, but that didn't last too long. But I mean, and the child didn't cry once.
Really?
She cried when she was trying to get to me because Jamie had taken the girls to lessons that day. And when Jamie called me on the phone to let me know, and I talked to her on the phone, she broke down and was crying. But once she was with me, she didn't cry anymore. But I mean, Sage was the same way. She fell New Year's Eve 2 years ago and snapped her arm, both bones in her arm, clear in half. And she got up and she's like, "Will you grab my phone? We gotta go to the hospital. My arm's broken." And we're like, "Really? Really? There's you
Got
cry?"
got some tough kids there, girl.
Well, no, my thing
Oh,
is
that's
like,
crazy.
you damn cry if there ain't chocolate milk in the damn house, but you cry about that, but you ain't trying. There's a bone sticking. What? I'm
You cry
okay.
if there was chocolate milk in the house.
I'm like,
It's like
sleep with
there's a
one eye
bone
open,
sticking out
got a
your
little Dahmer running around.
Tough kids.
Brooke, your sister Jen, your sister Brooke is
Oh,
into the
she
Dahmer series.
yeah, she's into everything that's Halloween, death, very dark. She just is. She could go like stay in a cemetery by herself for the night and
That's
be
the
like
kind of
totally
shit that
okay with
Velvy
it.
does. You can have that.
Yeah,
I
Yeah,
would
I'm
thank
not
you.
I
staying
could
in a
do it.
cemetery,
I
but
ain't down with it. I'm just gonna stay home.
I could do it,
but
but
you,
I just won't.
I'd have to be
yeah,
paid a lot.
you throw my ass into some true crime, creepy, weird serial killer cult trivia, and I'm slaying. It's a very weird obsession. Has been since I was 9 years old.
Wow. You started breaking up towards the end there.
But I think it's a mental thing. There's something interesting about learning how these people's brains work.
There
Yeah,
is.
it's
Didn't is
very
that
interesting. It's like
how
a.
you started studying psychology, Jen?
I mean, not to like for that specific reason. However, I did find it most interesting to figure out how and why people think and the things
Mm.
that they're motivated to do, why they do it, and how like it just always like was one of the most amazing things to see how everyone was different. However, they're like all the same in a lot of situations.
Yeah.
like we're all, like you said before, connected in a way. And I found it very interesting too when you think about different languages. There might
Hmm.
be different ways of words to say things, but there's all like three things that we all do. We all know emotions. Like we all know what crying is, we all know when smiling, and we all know when someone's pretty much angry. Like those three things you can, are love and sometimes music. You know what I mean? There's certain
Yeah.
things that connects us all, which lets us know we're all one. And it's just different, like you said, files and things that, are in that we all have happened to us and that we're born with, some of the genetic things that just make us all who we are. And it's just really interesting. I think it's, if you can understand other people, it definitely will make it easier to understand and to be able to deal with other people because you can
Hmm.
identify with them.
I don't know though. I don't know that I would ever be able to identify with a cannibal.
No, not that kind of person. I just mean in your general life to different personalities. Yeah, I don't think I'm down with the.
It's like,
I
what
don't
kind of
even identify with
sicko
people that eat animals,
eats a
much less
person?
humans.
You know what I mean? It's like,
Is that what a
dude,
vegan is? You
really?
eat humans? You don't eat no animals?
I'm like, what goes on in your brain
Guarantee he's not coming to Meatless Monday.
that would make you want to eat another person? I mean,
I guess that's what the
that's just
series is
out
trying to
there.
outline.
Yeah. But I'm definitely interested in the Casey Anthony thing, and I'm
Look,
gonna watch
Jess is
that.
like, I'm out of here. Them two are turning into cannibals.
Well, I'm pretty much done. I didn't really have a topic today, and there wasn't anything necessarily pressing.
And the
So,
coolest person left, man.
huh?
Just rolled out on us.
Well, her phone started breaking up too, so she might have been in a situation where she had to drop out. But I'm glad you came on, Jess. Thank you, baby girl.
Thank
And baby,
you.
thank
We
you
will
for
keep your
coming on
daughter
here.
in our prayers that she will continue
Definitely.
to heal both of them.
Definitely. She'll be okay. And I'm so glad that all that other stuff checked out. So hopefully those last two tests will check out for her. Ariella, thank you for coming, sweetheart. I appreciate you so much. We are now up to 596 subscribers.
Woohoo!
Woohoo!
We're gonna get to 590 before the end of the week. Like and share this video if you can.
596 we're at.
What did I say? Oh, five.
590.
I meant to say 600.
Don't take
I
us
need more
backward.
coffee. Hold on. Getting more coffee. Pouring it into the cup as we speak. Thank
Yeah,
you for
man.
letting me come on. I enjoyed the lighthearted conversation. I had finished lunch at 1:15, so I was kind of half in and half getting some stuff done.
Cool
However,
beans.
it wasn't a very, very deep one. I could chime in and out
Yeah. Yeah.
as it light
And,
for us
and
on Monday.
we will have our fair share of those deep ones. Trust and believe that.
Definitely. I
So
had a good
anytime,
weekend though for everything, so
me
it kind of
too. I think I beat the hell out of any frustrations that I was having. Now it's time to
I
go
think you
get
helped
back to.
all of us unwind with that last night. Sometimes you just need to chill out, listen to some music.
That was fun. That was fun. So I'm gonna do that. But thank you again, baby, for coming on here. I
Thank
always
you for the
appreciate you
midday
being on here.
therapy.
Definitely. Definitely.
All right.
Definitely.
Have
You
a
guys have a
nice.
great day. And I will see you guys tomorrow at 12:30.
I'll be here.
Hey, did you know that you could single-handedly help this channel grow by clicking the like button down here on the left? And if you're not already, go ahead and subscribe here on the right. Share the video with friends and family, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you can get notified when we do new videos or live streams. Thanks!